In this video, we're going to talk about the different Facebook metrics that you can look at, including the columns and the breakdown. I'm going to show you a bunch of the different stuff and what it actually means. So let's start with the default one, which is performance. You probably already have a decent idea of what's going on here, but I'll just review it really quick so we can see. The results is depending on what kind of campaign you're running. So for this one, I want conversions. This one I want leads filled out. This one I wanted link clicks. This one I wanted page likes. This one I wanted video views. So results is whatever the type of campaign it is, the type of ad you're running. It'll show you the results right there. Reach is how many people actually saw it. So you can see, here, different number of people saw all these different ones. The cost here is the amount per conversion or per lead form, which is very helpful. And then we have the amount spent, which is like the total amount of money spent on that type of ad. So that is the performance. Now before I move on, I want to show you the breakdown, because I think the breakdown is really cool because it actually shows, it segments it basically. So if I were to click age, for instance, this will show remarketing, and you can see some pretty valuable data. For instance, 65 plus, we're not getting a lot of conversions. So I might want to eliminate that. It looks like the sweet spot's right in the 45 to 54 and 35 to 44. So this is actually for a remarketing campaign. So what I've done in the past is I've segmented my ad sets, and that was before they had this breakdown functionality. So now I don't need to segment that as much because I can just segment it right here. I used to segment it by age. Now, and we can see here that the sweet spot here is 35 to 44. We've got a lot of people there. So this just starts to give me an idea of the kind of people I want to do. You can also break it down by gender. For me, of course, it's going to be highly female. See, the female's cheaper, both theirs, and there's a lot more of them. You can break it down by age and gender, country, region, platform, placement, product ID, all this different stuff. Just to make things simple for now, I'm going to click none so we can go over the rest of the columns. Let's look at delivery next. So this could be very beneficial because you can see the frequency here. Now, I've had different people tell me different things on what the frequency number should be. I am a fan of probably not going over 4 as your frequency, because so the frequency is how often someone sees it. Reach is how many people saw it. So for instance, the remarketing ad, almost 15,000 people have seen it. And on average, those 15,000 people will see it 4.2 times. So at a certain point, you have to realize if they're not converting, they're not ever going to convert. Some people would say go as high as 7. I've even heard one person say 15. It really depends. Sometimes maybe you only want to show it to them once. And if they haven't converted by the first time, stop showing it to them. That's definitely going to result in cheaper clicks. But you're not going to necessarily get everybody to convert, not going to get everybody that you want to convert. So cost per 1,000 people, reach. This is interesting too. You can look at some of the different numbers here. Depends on the type of ad it is. For whatever reason, actually, my remarketing's been pretty expensive. Total number of impressions, and then the cost per 1,000 impressions here. So that is for the delivery, and this is very helpful. My favorite thing from here is looking at the frequency, saying how often people are saying it. Because if you see that number start to creep up really high, it's going to start getting more expensive. Because if Facebook's showing ads to people over and over again, that's a bad user experience for the Facebook user, and Facebook doesn't want that. So next, let's look at engagement. So this shows a couple different things. People taking action could be just about anything. Then we have post reactions. Let's see, post reactions. And sometimes I don't always remember what all these things are, so you can hover over the little information icon. The post likes metrics is now called post reactions. Oh, okay. All right, so that's just showing how many people have liked it or loved it, or like all the different little things that you can do in Facebook. Comments, pretty self-explanatory. Number of shares, link clicks, and page likes. So you can see it's kind of interesting. For instance, this one that's website clicks, I got a decent number of page likes from that. So keep that in mind. Even though you're not necessarily running an ad that's geared towards getting page likes, you still might get a decent amount. You can see this one was a campaign for page likes, and I got 877, which is just a ton. Let's look at video engagement. I haven't ran too many video ads, but you can see I've run a few here. So cost per video view is just like it sounds. It's just the number of cost every time someone watches the video, total number of video views here, impressions. So this means that 9,000 people saw the video, but only 3,000 of them watched it. And then only 1,473 people watched it for at least 10 seconds. And this shows you the price, the cost per 10-second video view. The reach here. Okay, so yeah. So basically, only 7,000 people saw it, but of those 7,000 people, they were shown it 9,000 times, meaning some people it was shown like 1.2 times or something. So some people saw it twice, some people didn't. Video views to 25%, video views to 50%, and video views to 75%. So this is really interesting. You can see, obviously, not surprisingly, it goes down. So it's showing how many people actually watched at least 75% of my video. 148, you know, it's up to you whether or not that's decent. Video views to 95%, 120. Video views to 100%. So this is a pretty interesting metric. It went from 120 to 27%. So that last 5%, a lot of people dropped off. So I might want to look at that video and figure out what happened, why so many people dropped off in the last 5 seconds. I have an idea of why. This was just a reposted YouTube video, so the outro was not geared towards that. Carousel engagement. I haven't run a lot of carousel ads. That's not going to be something we look at here. You can also customize your columns. Now this is pretty fun, and I recommend for most people probably doing this. So you can go by one and look at the definition of all these different ones, but basically let's click a few. Just I'm going to click them kind of randomly. Frequency. Let's apply that. So you can see, oops, let's go. Let's do it again. Results. Actions, frequency. Just check on whatever thing you want. Page likes maybe. Yeah, there's a lot there. So let's go ahead and just click apply. And you can see the columns are here. Now another functionality that a lot of people don't know about that is really surprising is this export function. I'm going to save it as an XLS. You can save it as a CSV instead if you want. And that just exports everything. So maybe you want to save things, maybe you want to mess with things in a spreadsheet. Enable editing. Show you the reach, show you cost per result, all kinds of fun stuff. Another thing to add is the filters. So you can filter by just all kinds of things. So you can filter by active, you can filter by the objective. So maybe I only want to look at things that involve page likes. So if I do that, it's only going to show me this one. Instead, I'm not going to do that. I can just click it again to unclick it. Placement, so maybe I only want to look at mobile. So this is filter only my mobile stuff. This is just so powerful. Metrics. Oh, you can filter by frequency is greater than 2, let's say. So only these ones have a frequency greater than 2. You can look at date updated. I think there's just so much stuff you can do here. And then of course here you can change the date range of the data you want to look at, and then the search function, you can search by a bunch of different data here as well. The search function is really helpful if you have a lot of campaigns, so you could search for campaign name, include something like, I don't know, I'm just gonna say page just because I know I have, oh no, I don't have anything. But you can search for if it contains a certain thing. And if you want, you can always, oh, I think it's because I got so much different filters here. So you can stack filters on top of filters. So let's say I were to get rid of this filter. So you see that comes up there. And if I were to get rid of this filter, it's still the same thing. But so you can stack filters on top of filters, and that's very helpful if you have multiple, like thousands of or hundreds of campaigns, or just anything that you can imagine. So you can do the filters, stack on top of the search, stack on top of the date ranges, and there you have a lot of data to look at. especially when you start getting more campaigns going, you can always export, like I said, into a CSV or into whatever you want. And that's really great for crunching numbers and looking at lots of data. So that's it for this lesson. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.